If you've ever felt that you are going through a period of chaos and you are completely overwhelmed, this is the video for you. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And you know, I like to keep it real with you. And I have to be honest, since I returned from our summer vacation in Italy, life feels like it has been going at about 9,000 miles an hour. Between getting my daughter into her new school, preparing for that, all the emotional changes that are going on there, and then work just feels like it's just been going and going and going. It has been just feeling so overwhelming for me. And you know, I'm not a girl that likes to struggle, so I took some time and I really sat down and I thought of what are my best hacks and secrets that you can implement too so that you never feel chaotic or overwhelmed. And you'll definitely want to stay to the end of this video because there are tips in here that I have actually never shared before publicly, and I've only shared before with my private coaching clients. And I'm giving them to you for free. And if you're new here, hello, I'm Tracy. I am 49 years old. I am very busy. Life sometimes feels very chaotic. I'm also very grateful. And I'm a mom to a now 5-year-old who also runs a business. So, you know, we've got a lot going on around here. So like I said, as soon as we got home from Italy, I had so much work on my plate. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. But here's exactly where I began so that I didn't go into a overwhelm spiral. I made sure that I was really embracing what I like to call micro tasks. And here's what that looks like. When we start feeling overwhelmed, really what we're doing for ourselves from like a brain perspective is we are looking at the overarching picture of our life, right? And if you're like me, you probably physically feel stressed. When I feel stressed out, I feel like, oh my God, there's so much to do. And it's almost like everything goes black and I just feel tension in my muscles, just like I'm not taking good deep breaths and I don't even know where to start. Can any of you relate? Let me know in the comments. So what I do instead is I just break everything down into micro tasks. So here's what that will look like. All right, what are the things that absolutely need to be done? And if there's a timeline, put them in order of priorities, right? Whatever needs to be done first has to be at the top of the list and everything else goes below it, right? Then there's also the would be nice tasks, right? So it's the things that they don't necessarily have to be done at a certain timeline, but I know that I'm gonna feel a lot better. So something that I could use as an example here would be cleaning out my daughter's closet. Now, no one was telling me you've got to clean out that closet, but energetically having her closet be unorganized and not just the way that I wanted it for her, it was kind of just weighing energetically on me and really draining my energy. So rather than taking a work day to get that done, I took a weekend and I just planned for a few hours to just get it done. No interruptions, no dilly-dallying, as my mom would say, but really just focusing on getting it done. And then those things that must be done, breaking those down. So let's say you have a project. What are the pieces of the project so you're really chunking it down? That also, I promise you, when you actually put it on paper, usually you're like, wait, it felt like I had so much to do, but it's actually so much less. It's just that energetically, we get that picture of stress, overwhelm, freak out, and it just makes it really, really hard to focus. So if you struggle with clutter or things being disorganized in your house, for instance, maybe you set a timer and you say for 15 minutes, I'm gonna clean out this drawer, and you just get it done. Now, I'm also a huge fan of getting support or help when you need it, so don't be afraid to ask a friend or a professional who loves organizing if that's not something that you're really good at. In fact, in our home, my daughter's toys were, again, one of those things I could feel were just draining my energy and making me feel a little bit chaotic in my house. I'm a minimalist. I don't like a lot of stuff, but kids have a lot of toys. So I actually brought in an organizer to professionally organize my pantry and my daughter's toys so that it just wasn't draining my energy. And it was so worth the investment because they got it done. I'm helping to support a female-run business, but also it was not energetically draining me. Now, if you cannot make an investment like that, maybe you ask a friend, or you set a timer, or you get a friend to help you, or someone that you know just loves organizing. Maybe you take her out to dinner, right? So there's just so many ways to do this, but really think about what is draining your energy, what needs to be done, and really just start ticking it off in those micro tasks, because that is really key to productivity and getting out of overwhelm. I don't know if you're like me, but when things are even exciting, it can almost feel the same as overwhelm. Am I weird? I mean, I might be a little bit weird, but this is really true. And this month, I actually have 2 really exciting things coming up. For the first time ever, I'm actually officiating a wedding. Yes, I am Pastor Tracy Campoli. Thank you very much. And I'm really, really touched and honored that this woman asked me to do it for her, and I'm just thrilled. And I'm also hosting my first retreat in Italy. And as excited as I am for that, I'm not gonna lie, there's a little bit of overwhelm and nerves and just like getting all my stuff done. Now, while I love travel and any chance to get on a plane, especially since having my daughters, sometimes that can bring up a little bit of stress and anxiety. And one way that I know to really keep that stress at bay is to make sure that I'm totally prepared and organized, which is why I'm so happy that today we partnered with Nomad Lane for today's video. Nomad Lane caters to the expert traveler. Their bags and accessories are made for those who are always en route, designed to be durable, customizable, and truly reliable partners during any journey. I am a girl that likes just kind of throwing things into her bag when I'm traveling. And while, okay, I'm creative and I'm a free spirit, it drives my husband absolutely crazy. So I was so excited when Nomad Lane sent me their bento bag to try out, and I cannot wait to take it with me to Italy this month. Their bento bag is incredible. It really, really packs just like a suitcase, but it's actually your travel bag. The materials are super sturdy and durable, and I love how high quality and sleek the design is. And there really is a compartment for absolutely everything that you need. I can pack my laptop, my toiletries, all of my extra chargers, and really absolutely everything that I need with total ease. I also love the feeling that it gives me, like when you're traveling and you feel like you're kind of put together. Do you know what I mean? Like you're feeling stylish and you've got your stuff together. That's what I love about the bento bag, because its design is so sleek, it's so chic, and it really gives you that like you're a pro kind of look. They have really thought of everything there. They've got a phone pocket, there's a laptop compartment, and even a water bottle pocket that kind of expands for your water bottle. So it just makes it so much easier for you to travel with ease and speed. I'm definitely going to be taking my Nomad Lane bento bag with me to the wedding and to Italy, and I just love knowing that it's going to be so much easier for me to stay organized. And when I tell you that they thought of everything, they truly did think of everything. They even have their Tomodachi Sling bag, which is one of the easiest ways for you to keep all of those important documents like your passport, your ID, your tickets, whatever you need. Really quickly and easily grab them and safely and securely have everything that you need with you. So definitely check out Nomad Lane. I'll leave all the information for you to check them out too in the description box down below. If you don't know where the description box is, underneath my head somewhere, you're gonna see today's title of the video. Click on more, and if you're on mobile, you have to click more again, and you'll see absolutely everything there for you. And let me know when you try it out, because I love getting into conversation with you about great things that really help my life stay productive and organized, like the bento bag. Now, I'm sure you probably wouldn't expect me to say this, but making sure that you have sort of like a chaos buffer zone is really going to help you to stay in alignment with your energy and not get into that overwhelm. Let me explain. You know how like sometimes you've got packages or mail or something like that, whatever your version of clutter that really kind of gets to you, right? With me, sometimes it's like all the boxes and packages that I have to open. I have a little area in my house where I can just put all of those things, and it's like I will get to them later. It's not all the things, but it's those things. And I don't put pressure on myself to clear it out, right? So maybe it's a closet for you. Maybe it's an area. Listen, I lived in New York for over 20 years. Space was hard. So that was actually so helpful for me, because I just couldn't have a lot of stuff. Now that I live in Miami in an actual home, I realize how easy it is to just accumulate so much stuff. And I know for myself personally, that doesn't feel good. But having a little area, maybe it's a little area in your closet or a junk drawer, that can actually be really productive for you, so that you're not feeling chaotic and overwhelmed. Now, your whole house cannot be the chaos buffer zone. So you have to really choose 1 or 2 areas where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get to that later, and I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. So act act discerningly. Let's find a place together that really feels the best for you and that you will tackle when you have time. Now, this next one is something that I used to tell my private coaching clients all the time. And that is, how are you ending your day? That's going to set the tone for the next day. Now, here's what I mean by that. It's so easy for us to have that never-ending to-do list. We're never going to be done, right? And if you're like me, I love that feeling of checking things off of my list and really accomplishing things and feeling like I'm getting things done, right? But if you always have this long, never-ending list, it's just never going to get done. So two hot tips for you. Two hot tips for you. Number one is have your to-do list be short. Instead of this long, never-ending. Again, you can have a master list. All the things that someday I would like to do. All the things that are not like have to be done, but like someday. But your to-do list should be really about 3 things. So it's like, answer my emails. Who are you responding to? So have a chunk for that, right? Maybe it's something that you need to do, a project you're working on, and maybe there's something else. But if you have 100 things on that, you're not setting yourself up for success. So set yourself up for success, and less is more. And the second thing is how you end your day sets that tone for the next day. So this is what I mean. Instead of, slamming the laptop or walking out of the office or however you end your day, instead of thinking of all the things that you didn't get done and that you've got to do and like, oh my God, I'm so freaked out, I have so much on my plate. What are 3 things that you are so grateful for today about yourself? What did you do? How did you feel? How did you interact with someone? This is very, very life coachy, okay? But I'm telling you, this really works. I do this for myself, right? We have to kind of self-coach ourselves a little bit. And it's like, okay, I'm so happy that I did not let, X stressful situation get to me. I'm so happy that I did X and Y that I needed to do today. And I'm so grateful that I sat down and I had a beautiful lunch, whatever that looks like for you, okay? So really set yourself up for success by honoring and being grateful for the things that you have accomplished. Now, here's why that matters. Instead of thinking always that you're like under the gun and you're not getting things done, this is like, wow, look at what I've done today, and really respecting that and taking just those 2 seconds to really honor, be grateful for that, so that energetically, again, I'm talking a lot about energy today, you're going to feel really good the next day. Like, oh, wait, I remember I got those things done. All right, I have new zest and new energy to get all these other things done, right, that I'm going to do today. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you're like me, right, when I get into my work zone and I get into my flow, I am like laser focused. I'm like, let's go. I can do it. I lose track of time. And then I'm like, where did the day go, right? But it's really, really important, especially now with all of the screens that we're looking at and all the technology that we're using, that we give ourselves what I like to call sensory breaks. And that means, number one, just do something as simple as look up, okay? Your eye doctor will agree with me, right? My eye doctor says every 20 minutes, look up. Get your eyes off of the screen so that we don't need glasses later on, so that we're not squinting, so that we're not constantly getting all that blue light on our face. But there's so much science and research that supports this. It's so important to give yourself breaks. We're not machines. We're not robots. It's really important that we refresh our senses. So walk away from your computer sometime. That's why like coffee breaks are really important if you still work in an office, right? To like just give yourself that moment of like, okay, I'm technology free. I'm looking outside. I'm looking at a window. I'm taking a deep breath. Maybe add in a little bit of movement there. These small micro actions really are what going to create massive results for you. Another thing that I love to do when I'm feeling like I'm going through a period of just a lot of life and a lot of allotness is I'll create a little reward system for myself. Now, it might be something like, okay, mini reward, big thing, or it could be like, okay, when it's all done, I'm going to take myself on a trip, or maybe I'm going to go book that massage. But it's really important as human beings that we have something to look forward to. And I have to tell you, since being a mom, I really realized how life can just be like going and going and going and going and going. And guess what? No one's going to tell you to stop. No one's going to tell you to take a break, right? So we have to do this for ourselves. So here's something new that I've been doing recently. Now, again, I work for myself, so I can do this. But even if you work for someone else, I believe that you can really do this to some degree. I look at my calendar in the beginning of the month and I say, okay, what are the days that I'm going to book either a half day or a full day just for me? And for me, even if that's 3 days out of the month, because I I mean, if I'm being really honest, I probably have to do something, even if it's just 30 minutes, about 7 days a week, right? My business is social media and I might have to post something or look at something or someone's asking for something, right? Not to mention being a parent is 24/7. So it's so important where you can to fill out these little pockets of you time. Now, if it's not a half day, maybe it's booking that massage on the schedule, booking a girls' night, making that reservation at a restaurant that you've been wanting to go to with your husband, your partner, your friend, whatever, right? But it's so important that we kind of build in these sort of rewards for ourselves so that it makes it easier for us to keep going and it makes it easier for us to not feel like we're constantly in a state of overwhelm. And this last one, I know I've talked about this before, but I'm telling you, this makes a huge difference. And that is, instead of thinking that you have to do like a 45-minute meditation, a 3-hour journaling session, a cold plunge and a sauna and whatever else giant wellness thing, why don't you do a micro meditation or a micro wellness break? And what I mean by that is, I personally have talked about this before. I like doing breath work, and I found a breath work video here on YouTube that's literally, I believe it's 7 minutes long. It's so short, it's so sweet, but when I feel like I'm not centered and I'm not grounded, it helps so much. Or get outside, get in nature at all times of year, in all weather. Get your feet on the ground, get your eyes off of the screen, and just take a second to take a deep breath and bring yourself back. Even just doing that right now, I could feel my neck and shoulders just released a little bit. So life is a lot. It can be a lot, but we are in it, right? And life is now. And, as fast as things get sometimes, it's really important that we remember that we are controlling our experience. And as grown-ups, nobody else is going to do it for us, right? And I'm so grateful to have such a young child because I can teach her some of this mindfulness now, which is pretty amazing that she's going to have these tools. And they even teach these things to her in her school now at 5 years old. Like, what a different experience of life she's going to have of knowing I control my thoughts. I can take a deep breath. And, if you needed that reminder today, consider yourself reminded. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I want to hear from you. What tip are you going to implement? Life gets chaotic. It does for me too. I always tell my students, I don't live on a puffy pink cloud. Life gets bananas a lot of the times, right? But it's how can we navigate through it, have tips and hacks and techniques. And if you've got something that I missed, please do leave it down below because I love our community here on YouTube. If you haven't already done so, I'd love for you to consider subscribing to my channel. It's totally free to do so. And this is really a resource for us. This is YouTube, right? For you to get lifestyle, health, wellness, and really look and feel your best at any age and any stage of life. So thanks so much. And if you want to keep hanging with me, check out this video next, and I'll see you there.